I'm tripping on this shooting in Manhattan, in Midtown Manhattan, New York. The CEO of United Healthcare shot down dead. I'm sure you guys have all heard about this. What's really crazy to me is some of you guys might remember back in 2021, I went to New York for Dateline, and the hotel that this guy was shot in front of was the same hotel I stayed at, the Hilton in Midtown Manhattan. So I wanted to talk about this for a few minutes because I'm like, holy shit, wild. So based on my experience, when you see those black SUVs on the side of the road, those are all drivers. So like when we would come out of the Hilton, so like we would come out front right here where he was shot to smoke. Okay. We stayed at the Hilton downtown Manhattan on Dateline. Everything was paid for. It was fucking awesome. But I'm telling you, we stood and smoked right where this guy got shot. So then these drivers are all sitting there waiting to pick people up. So I'm assuming there's drivers in those vehicles. That is crazy. Crazy to me. There's a manhunt. And now get this. On the bullet casings, there's messages. One of them says, denied. So is this some disgruntled health insurance holder that doesn't have coverage? It is so eerie by you, babe. It freaks me out. Misty Ann, hey, good morning. Okay, so let's take a look at this, the newest report, because there's writing on these shell casings, y'all.
On the shocking murder of a healthcare CEO in the heart of New York City. Investigators a short time ago saying writing has been discovered on shell casings found at the scene. It's the latest twist in what police are calling a brazen targeted attack. Eyewitness News reporter Tim Caputo joining us now with those late-breaking new revelations. Tim.
And Mark, all of this is unbelievable. That gunman this morning was waiting the exact right spot at the exact right time. He was covered head to toe. He even used a silencer on his gun. But if there were any questions whether this was premeditated and intentional, well, the latest discovery by detectives should remove all doubt.
It's either a message from the gunman or a motive for the murder. The shell casings recovered by the NYPD has the words deny, defend, and depose written on them, according to ABC News sources. Depose often means testify, like a deposition, but there's a more direct and possibly sinister definition: to remove from a high position. United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was shot and killed in Midtown Manhattan around 6:45 this morning as he left his hotel on his way to an investors conference. The gunman, in a dark hoodie and face mask, used a silencer, shooting Thompson multiple times, even with people standing on that same sidewalk on 6th Avenue.
At this time, every indication is that this was a premeditated, pre-planned, targeted attack.
For the last 3 years, Thompson has led the insurance division of United Health Group, based in Minnesota.
I knew Brian. Tragic. And as I said, well, some of it's still preliminary on this, but figure out what was behind this and follow
Can you guys
through,
hear me
making sure
now?
someone's
Okay.
brought to justice. But just our deepest condolences to the family.
The 50-year-old's wife and 2 sons devastated by the loss.
Brian was a wonderful person with a big heart and who lived life to the fullest. He will be greatly missed by everybody.
As detectives searched every possible security video, the Christmas crowds in New York City continued their day in the shadow of this murder. The Rockefeller Christmas tree lighting went on as planned. Just
Crazy. Get this, though. Get this. There's only a $10,000 reward for finding this guy. Do they really want to find him? Now, let me just tell you something. This dude here was making $10 million annually. Do you wonder why we pay so much for healthcare in America? His yearly salary was $10 million. And if he was being threatened, why was he alone? Why was he by himself? That's crazy. And then we only have the $10,000 reward. Hell, there's more to find Sebastian Rogers. There's 50 grand. Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Jammers. 10K? Like, why are all these CEOs getting taken out? Have you guys noticed the tech CEOs that have been taken out lately? It's nuts. 10 grand? I mean, the Secret Service can use like overhead satellite imagery to find where this guy went, I would think. He should have definitely had security. But isn't that weird? 10 grand? Okay, listen to this. Here's another one.
Well, now to the apparent murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in New York City.
Police say gunmen shot Thompson from behind.
Hey, Shell. And another thing they said was that he kept a really low profile as far as in the public. So he wasn't well known. I mean, not that you couldn't look up and see who the CEO is, but.
As he came out of a Manhattan hotel this morning, the incident captured on surveillance video. Eyewitness News reporter Carlos Guanda joining us now with the latest developments.
Well, police say this was definitely a targeted shooting, and they now believe the motive could be a grudge against the insurance company. Now, this all occurred in busy Midtown Manhattan on 6th Avenue. Surveillance video shows the moments the violence unfolded, and a warning, this video is disturbing.
In the surveillance video, the victim walks by when the suspect comes from behind.
This is fucking crazy. This is crazy. Look how he just came from behind that car, dude. And I'm telling you, I think there's drivers in those cars because they sit and they wait for people to have to go to work and shit.
In the surveillance video, the victim walks by when the suspect comes from behind, points the gun, and shoots. The victim, Brian Thompson.
And there's no one around. That's what is so wild. I know it was 6:30 in the morning, but there's no one around. There's like drivers in those cars or whatever, but there's no people, which is wild. I know, but to go this far as a grudge against an insurance company, I mean, I can see being pissed that he makes $10 million a year, but yeah, the one has its brake lights on. I'm telling you, it's weird. It's fucking weird, man. Did you see there was a guy on Ask who was like some sort of computer hat? He was able to figure out which electric bike the guy was on and posted it. No, I didn't. That's crazy, though. He grabbed an e-bike, took off, dumped it in Central Park, changed his clothes. Dude's gone. Oh, on X. On Ask. I was like, ask.com? That's some old school shit, jammers. Remember ask.com? He was attending a shareholders meeting in February. Thompson sold shares of the company's stock worth $15.1 million just 2 weeks before the Department of Justice announced its probe into the company. The Department of Justice was probing this company? Say no more. Say no more. $10,000 reward. They don't want this dude found. Holy. Straight up assassination, y'all. Straight up assassination in public. I don't know why this isn't being talked about everywhere. Yeah, ask Jeeves. I do. Did I ask them to do that? I'm sorry if I sound a little nasally. I've definitely got a sinus thing going on right now.
Did I ask them to do that?
Oh, if the Department of Justice had their hands in this. Zoinks. Yeah, I have a grudge too, Chris. They charge too damn much.
When the suspect comes from behind, points the gun, and shoots. The victim, Brian Thompson, was shot in his leg and his back. Police are reviewing these images as they search for the suspect.
It appears the suspect was lying in wait for several minutes. And as the victim was walking to the conference hotel, the suspect approached from behind and fired several rounds.
Officials say at one point the gun appeared.
Look at the size. I mean, this person looks like they're rather small. Is that the green hoodie guys that Nick the Hat? Just kidding. But look how little this person actually appears, next to that SUV.
Appeared to jam. When he cleared the jam, he resumed shooting. The suspect then ran into an alley, grabbed a bike.
Can you believe in 2024, this is still the kind of image we see? Aw, thanks, Vesty. I appreciate that. Sending them right back your way. Boomeranging them. Boomeranging those virtual hugs. He leaves behind 2 boys. One just graduated, one's in high school, and a wife. But can you believe we don't have better footage than this in 2024, almost 2025?
And was seen pedaling into Central Park. The NYPD is now releasing other surveillance images showing.
So where is this? A bus station?
Pedaling into Central Park. The NYPD is.
That looks like some kind of a bus station. Look at the seats. Dude, this guy's gone. Gone. Do you guys think that they'll catch him? Hey, Jeff H. Long time no seeing. This reminds me of John Lennon being shot in New York by that fan. Isn't it nuts? Grabbed a bike. Fingerprints. Right. Does he have gloves on? He's not very professional. Wasn't he caught at Wasn't he at a Starbucks? That I don't know. This guy knew that Thompson was going to that meeting, though.
Is now releasing other surveillance images showing the suspect waiting in the area.
He went and grabbed a Starbucks? This is in Starbucks? Right, getaway is a freaking bike and a stolen e-bike from the city, Mark Klein? A stolen e-bike from the city that has trackers. Each of those e-bikes has a tracker on it. So how did he yank it out of the thing? So he went and grabbed a mocha after this? What? Wow. So how did he pay for his coffee, right? Fingerprints on the bike, the tracker on the bike. There's so many people in Central Park, though. Oh, my God. And Central Park is huge. I couldn't believe how big Central Park was when I saw it. We drove by it, and you're driving by it, and it just keeps going and going and going.
For the victim.
The shooter appears to be a light-skinned male. He's wearing a light brown or cream-colored jacket, a black face mask, black and white sneakers, and a very distinctive gray backpack.
It was not a city bike? I thought it was. Chips. I agree with you, Vesty.
Thompson was the CEO of United Healthcare, the largest health insurer in the world, and about to attend the company's annual investor conference. He was walking toward the New York Hilton Hotel and was alone, without protection. The victim's wife, Paulette Thompson, said he had been receiving threats, but didn't comment about that in a statement to ABC News. She said in part, "We are shattered to hear about the senseless killing of our beloved Brian. Brian was an incredibly loving, generous, talented man who truly lived life to the fullest and touched so many lives. Most importantly, Brian was an incredibly loving father to our 2 sons and will be greatly missed."
I mean, I feel for the family and all, but this is crazy. What I don't understand is the $10,000 reward. I mean, okay, so what about the wife, right? They have millions of dollars. Why isn't she ponying up some money to find this guy? I mean, I don't know. Have a nice shower, jammers. Hey, Diana. Good to see you this morning. We're waiting for Lori. We're just going over this United Healthcare CEO. It's crazy. Now check this out. Tech. Let's see how many tech CEOs have dropped like flies, killed. Let's see. Oh, it's probably all going to be this. Look at this. August 30th, 2024. The suspect in the killing of Baltimore Tech CEO, Pavel Lapierre, pleaded guilty Friday morning. Baltimore Tech CEO. Let's see who else. There was several. Oh, here. Maryland. Look at this. Look at this. June 25th, 2024. Another tech CEO dismembered. It's so weird. I've been noticing these stories this year. Is Robat here? Because Robat and I have been talking about this year. Her and I have sent. Look at this one, January. The Indian CEO of an Indiana-based tech company died in a freak accident last week, and the terrifying incident was caught on video. This is in January of this year. Stage mishap? 56, CEO of Vistex, a revenue management services company, was celebrating the company's 25th anniversary in India with an elaborate stage performance. The performance consisted of an iron cage contraption. Footage posted on social media shows the moment the cable holding the cage snapped, sending the two executives tumbling 15 feet to the ground. What? Talk about a rabbit hole. The fuck? Holy shit! Did you guys see that? Oh. Whoa! What the fuck? Whoa, y'all. They straight up just dumped these two executives out of this thing. Whoa. Whoa. That's nuts. That is crazy. But yeah, there's been a lot of CEO deaths this year. Tech CEO killed during assault at DC restaurant. Look at this.
And tonight on a deadly assault outside of a D.C. restaurant. We told you about that last month. Well, WUSA 9 has now learned the restaurant's operating license is in question. Police tell us the attack is related to security at that establishment.
Delia Gonzalez is live in Northwest outside the restaurant at the center of all of this. And Dee, this new information from
operations and security protocol at the establishment closed. Police say the suspect approached the victim. Investigators say a verbal altercation got physical, and the suspect punched Taniha, who struck his head on the concrete and lost consciousness.
Jesus. Why so many CEOs passing away? Look at this. Remember last year, Cash App founder Bob Lee was killed with a kitchen knife. Oh, here's another picture. Okay, hold up. That's definitely a guy. Smiling assassin, it says. Healthcare boss's marriage secret is revealed as ex-FBI agents suggest new motive. There's his wife in his home. Leave it to the Daily Mail for the dirt. What's the marriage secret? Oh, United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was separated. Oh my God. This just took a twist.
bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-N.
They were separated. At the time of the killing, Thompson and his estranged wife, Paulette, had been living in separate homes that are less than a mile apart in suburban Maple Grove, Minnesota. Oh, no. Thompson purchased the $1 million home near his family home in 2018, according to public records. His wife, Paulette, a practicing physical therapist, disclosed that her husband had previously received threats. She referenced a lack of coverage. Despite the reported threats, Thompson did not travel with security. Former FBI supervisor Robert D'Amico said the slaying was likely carried out over a personal vendetta against United Healthcare. D'Amico said simple Google searches would have been enough to yield information to allow the killer to carry out the brazen targeted attack. Even a layman can find there's so much on the internet now and people put so much out there. Okay, so there he is with his estranged wife. And there's his estranged wife and the kids. They live in a $1.5 million home in Maple Grove, Minnesota. United Healthcare had put out an announcement about the conference without specifying a location. Yeah, we went over that earlier, Pine. That's crazy. Many people passed the suspect, but he had appeared to wait for his intended target. And then NYPD Chief of Detectives Joseph Kenney said, from watching the video, it does seem that he's proficient in the use of firearms, as he was able to clear the malfunctions pretty quickly. Last year, the DOJ launched a probe into whether the private company of the nation's biggest insurer, led by Thompson, was unfairly restricting competitors and running a monopoly. This is Paulette's house. And that's his house. And then here he is again. He's worked for United Healthcare for 20 years. In May, the City of Hollywood Firefighters Pension Fund initiated a complaint against Thompson and other execs. The complaint accused the CEO of failing to tell investors about the federal probe before he unloaded over 31% of his stock, taking $15.1 million in proceeds. So he shystered. He didn't tell the investors about the probe from the Department of Justice, but he went and sold his freaking stock and took a cool $15 million. In legal documents, the fund said Thompson and other execs sold over $117 million worth of United Health common stock during the 4-month period when insiders knew about the federal antitrust investigation, but the public did not. And it's still a $10,000 reward. That's his wife right there. That's him. Hey, Gypsy. There they are performing CPR. Cops have yet to offer any further detail where the assassin might be, but they don't believe he is any threat to the public, given the targeted nature of the attack. Bullshit, man. Someone who can go up there and just shoot someone like that in the wide open, he is a threat to the public because now he's on the run. Are you kidding? Why do they always lie to us? Why do they always lie and say, oh, there's no threat to the public? Fuck that. There's a threat to the public. Put a 1 if you think there's a threat to the public. Brian was a highly respected colleague and friend to all that worked with him. Blah, blah, blah.